before we dive into 2026 goals, the AI reorganization paramount.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Doo-doo-doo. Hello out there. Testing. What's up, folks? Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up. I'll get this figured out eventually, but it's kind of easier if you guys just tell me if the sound's good. I think it's good. Uh, so how y'all doing? All two of you. I got two. Two people. Let's go, baby. We got a threesome. We need one more to make a foursome. Oh, we got three now. We got a foursome. So who's the low handicap in the group? Everyone in the chat, put your supposed handicaps and don't lie. Okay? Come on. What's your handicap? Mine's now probably 7 because I don't really play much. I might be 6 now. But you know, it is what it is. Um Let's see. Yeah, look at this Palm Springs. Man, you know, I can't believe. Yeah, I can't believe I came back here from this place. But you know what? That's life. Look, God, look at that. Beautiful. Oh my God. That was me. I was flying my drone. And there's an airport nearby, so I couldn't. It's a little freaky flying the drone because, you know, these drones have remote ID, and if you go too high with an airport around, next thing you know, the FAA's knocking on your door. All right, who's out there? Let's see some names. Let's see some handicaps. So I hit balls today, and it was ugly. My range is covered, so it was raining. It's raining bad today, but it wasn't that cold. But you know, all my buddies are there. There were quite a few people there. We're all hitting balls, you know. All right, got 4 watching. Shark was there. If you guys saw my video about Shark, and he's getting better. He's getting good, man. He got a pretty good swing, but you know, it's pretty amazing. Like when I started this whole thing with this like feel force method, it's legit. I mean, it's quite insane how, man, people, they don't understand that you're swinging a goddamn club. They don't get it. Like they don't get that there is a weight at the, like you're not swinging it. You're swinging the handle, and the weight kind of does a thing for you. You know, it's like crazy. You know, Sharks, he's an athlete. And when he told me he played tennis, I was like, dude, like, kind of what are you doing? Like, so I had to get him back to, like, the feel force thing, because he's, you know, he's like, his takeaway, he's got the shaft pointed, like, in California. Like, he doesn't have it on plane. And I had to tell him, just swing it fast. If you swing it fast, not that I want him to have this fast, but just to get the feel for the freaking club head. Like, it wants to go in a plane because it's a weight, you know? And it's frustrating. But it's like it's unbelievable. Like once I get him to just start, I'm like, I had him do like a momentum thing, like swing it back, swing it through, and just don't stop. Like swing back and through. And everyone should do it. Like, you know, this thought process of we have a backswing and then we have a downswing. It's just a swing back through, and the club will start to swing on a perfect disc type swing plane. You know, I mean, he was taking it back, and he's like kind of got this like early hinge motion, and he got it way off plane, and it's like, you know, and it's like, dude, if you held the club in these 2 fingers of your for me left hand, exactly. See, Harry knows. Why don't and no one seems to understand this crap. And it's like amazing, man. Everyone, and I don't know if it's like they're watching too much YouTube. You know what's crazy is like, and it's definitely a thing. Like, you know, like I don't understand. Like, I know players do. The thing is, like, I see like pros nowadays. They look very methodical on their takeaways, but I mean, Harry, you're 100% right. Like, golf was. You know, guys like Hogan and Snead and those guys, they understood they were swinging a damn weight. I mean, you know, now these guys nowadays, they've kind of obscured the swing because they're so, like, technical and I wonder, you know, who's the guy, Jake Knapp? Like, so Jake Knapp, he swings the damn club, you know, but I honestly wonder, yeah, Knutson, there's a great swing. I honestly wonder if the modern swing is really better. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you got to wonder. Like when you look at, you know, like Sam Snead's swing was so good. Like it looks like he was born to swing a golf club. There's no like, you know, this kind of like maneuvering the club, and that's what I'm trying to explain to Shark. You know, and I think what you want to do is, and you know, Harry, you just said it best. It's the centrifugal force in the body's the center, and it's like you swing from the inside out. So if you pivot, like even if you just did a simple turning motion like you were in a barrel with kind of loose arms, the club would just swing on a perfect swing plane. And I mean, you know, and Shark's like, I don't know if he's watching some videos. He's like trying to do all these, like, he's got his body moving all over the place. I'm like, dude, just gotta simplify it. You know what I mean? Just simplify it. Just turn. You know, who was the guy a long time ago? It was the turn in a barrel thing. And it's fine. It's like, that's good start. Like, turn in a barrel, and then you can go from there. You know. So, yeah, I remember a book, you know, back when we all knew this stuff when we started playing golf. And it was a book, and it was the inside swings the outside. And that's it. Like, your inside is swinging the outside. But, you know, like, it's funny. Like, I see so many backswings where the club's, like, going all over the place. And they're, like, maneuvering the club on the backswing. And I'm like, you know, I tell people, I say, look, if I take a ball and I drop it, what's it do? It goes in a perfect straight line because it's a weight and because the force of nature takes it in a perfect straight line. And if you swing it back, you know, I was explaining to Shark, if you stand behind a golfer and they take the club back and it is any kind of like golf swing that's, you know, a good golf swing, the club head, the swing plane, it's a line. It's a straight line. It's not, you know, in your mind, you're seeing like circles and all this weird stuff. It's just a line. Like the club head should go in a line, a perfect line. And you look at these people maneuvering the club back and it would be like some weird curvy thing, you know? And I mean, if you just swung that thing back, and one thing I like to do is, you know, like say, if I were to step on the club head and just say, pull as hard as you can, and then just let go and just let that thing fling back. And what's amazing too is, you know, your hands just hinge from the weight of the club, and it happens perfectly. That's why I like this drill where you start kind of at your follow through and swing it back, and you'll feel the club just hinge naturally, and it hinges at a perfect spot. And now, you know, you go on YouTube and everyone's teaching this, like, you know, this kind of stuff. You know, like, it's too mechanical. That's what I think. But I'll tell you what, man. I just look at Sam Snead, look at Ben Hogan, look at these guys. You know, and there's certainly plenty of tour pros who still swing it, but you know, I don't know. But it's crazy. Like, people don't understand. That's why when I did the first videos, you know, I talked about like the fly line. That's all it is. It's like the fly line. It's this motion it's just a dynamic motion, you know. And it's so funny because all you're doing is swinging this thing on a plane. Another thing too, when you swing it and you understand it's a weight, the club hits the ball every time. Right? You can't maneuver the club head. You can't maneuver a club head that's going 90 miles an hour to hit a ball. You can't do it. You can't maneuver that thing to hit the ball. You're not doing that. You're just swinging it on a path, and the ball just gets in the way. So, anyway, you know, it's funny. I just saw George. Hey, Harry, were you watching The Lion Guy? I know The Lion Guy just did a thing on George Knudson, and I didn't like his video. I think it was bullshit. So the Lion Guy did a thing on George Knudson, and he talked about this neutral type of setup over the ball. Like, no, like, hands forward, no kind of, you know, and that's bullshit, okay? Because many people would benefit from more of a hands forward address position, something that resembles, yeah. He did a thing on Knudson. He was talking about his neutral setup. And, you know, I mean, Gary Player, you know, the guy I've caddied for a few times, he's a very impact fixed type of setup, you know, with the hands forward. And the thing is, that's what I'm kind of like. The thing with me is, you know, when you set up a little bit like impact, like you know where to go back to, right? That's why I set up with the hands high, because at impact your hands are higher. And when you know, I think I saw, I'm 99% sure, I saw Phil Mickelson, and he was saying, I never knew a player worth a damn who addressed his ball with the hands back who could hit it worth the crap. You know, so, you know, and this you know, the Lion guy, we gotta get his name right. was that he was touting this, you know, this neutral type of setup. And, you know, honestly, I wish I could kind of get my setup a little more neutral, because I think I would hit my irons a little higher, and I've been working on that. But, you know, it's just not, you know, it's just like this, to say like a definite, like, that's better is BS. And I knew a guy was a solid plus, you play +1, +2 handicap. Rest in peace, my man. He was a great golfer. And I remember he came to me one day and he goes, man, he goes, like, you know, and I think he got a lesson. The guy told him, like, get in your impact position and take the club back from there. And then his address changed to something closer to his impact position. And he was pure as the driven snow. The dude was awesome, you know. So I just don't like this, like, you know, and I'm surprised the Lion guy's like, you know, because he tends to talk about all sorts of ways to swing a club. But I'm going to find that thing where Mickelson said that. Mickelson said, he goes, I never knew anyone worth a damn. Yeah, he did have, of course he had shaft lean. But see, my point is that for the average golfer, you know, getting that shaft lean, like if you never feel that position, like if you set up with a little shaft lean, you kind of come back to that. It's easier to come back to it. You know, and the Lion guy was saying, oh, well, you know, it screws up the whole, what he talks about, like, I don't know his exact terminology. Like everything's relying on, I don't know exactly. But the point is that, no. Plenty of people out there could benefit from getting their hands forward at address, especially with their irons. And I'm telling you right now, and another thing too with driver, people who set up with a driver with their hands back blow. They're terrible. It's so people who set up with, like, unless you're a fader, okay, so that's called the classic address position. And I don't know many people who have the classic address position. And I like Mo Norman's solution. I never seen Lion Guy's actual lessons. So I know he draws a lot of lines. The guy's very smart. He's a great, you know, he's fine, but I just didn't like this video. You know, Mo Norman had the best solution. You put the club out, he called it the rod, and you put the club out in a straight line with your arm, right? And then you got that, and you put it down behind the ball, and in Mo Norman's case, he put it down way behind the ball. And then when your right arm comes in under, it automatically sets your right shoulder lower, and you get some tilt, you know, and it's great. And then, like, that is how you're going to hit it. Because you got to realize, your arm and the club form like a lever that's like 6 feet long. It's a lever. And when that lever breaks down, it destroys the swing. So if that lever breaks, and so to set up with your hands back, like you're setting up with a broken lever. It doesn't make any sense. Like you're setting up with your hands and this broken lever and be like, wow, it's just going to come to the ball. You know, this whole thing, the worst thing about golf is they teach this like, it's taught like, well, take it back to here and swing it to here, and all the rest is just going to happen by magic. And that's just bullcrap. It should be taught from impact. And that's, if you watch my my chipping video, right? The one I just put out today, which hopefully you watch, because it's like, hopefully people watch it. It's like really good. But, and I talk about Ben Doyle. And Ben Doyle started with this basic motion. And if you look at his basic motion, Ben Doyle's basic motion, he's very ulnar with the left hand. And he wouldn't let you swing a club ever until you learn the basic motion, because it went basic and then like, I don't know, basic and then not intermediate, but the next one. But so it went from basic, and then he would let you swing it to like, you know, chest high or hip high. But first you had to learn the basic motion, and that's how golf should be taught. You got to start from impact, because it's unbelievable. Like I see people, don't even get me started on this guy who pretends to be a pro at my range. It's unbelievable. But you know, they're teaching it's like they teach this golf swing, like take it back to here, get in this position, then swing it to here, and like somehow the ball's gonna be like your impact's gonna be good, and it's just insanity. That's all it is. It's insanity. So, because you know why? Because it's funny. Because those people who are like learning golf, and you say, they're taking it back to here and they're getting this backswing position and they're swinging it through and they're like attempting to hit this ball, and you say to them, you say, hit a chip, right? And they have no clue. They can't hit a chip. They can't hit a 20-yard shot, a 30-yard shot, because they have no clue. Because they don't know the actual part where you're supposed to hit the damn ball. Like so many people I've said, what's impact look like? And they don't even have a clue what impact's supposed to be like. Not a clue. So I think Ben Doyle was right. Like, you got to teach from impact and then go little bits from there, you know? And that's why, I'm going to tell you, if you got to watch my chipping videos. If you guys want to get good at golf, right? That motion, because I watch it and I go, man, like that motion that I'm doing with the chipping, it's really good. Like the owner wrist that's how you hit a golf ball. Your wrist goes owner. And the most important thing is pivoting around the left hip. And that's everything. Like you got to know how to pivot around that left hip. And when I did stack and tilt, which thanks, Eric. When I did stack and tilt, and I realized that I had to basically keep that weight and I learned to pivot around that front hip. And that was huge, you know, and you got to learn to do that. You got to learn to pivot the whole swing. Once you start coming down, you're off your back foot and it's all pivoting around that front hip. So, you know, you start short and just keep hitting the little longer shots. You got to learn to do that. You got to learn to keep your weight up front, you know. And, I mean, we talked about last night this stack and tilt stuff, and it really works for, like, it's funny. It's crazy. Like, I can't tell you of all the things that, because, you know, like I said, we had a big stack and tilt thing going on at my range for a while because the guy was deep in stack and tilt. And I would say of all the things that transformed people hitting an iron, and I do not say driver, was keeping our weight up front. I mean, I've never seen anything like where it was just like you tell someone to do something, and when they kind of get it, and they go, holy cow, like this really works. So, you know, and I'm telling you, I was kind of doing it today. I was hitting balls today, and I'm just like, because that's what I do. Like, I talk about it last night, and I go, well, I'm going to try. And, you know, it's good. It's really good. It's certainly better than, you know, like, so for me, you know, I got this bad left ankle. So it's very hard for me to when I shift my weight back to get that weight back on my front leg. It almost hurts. Like, my ankle's kind of screwed up. And when I get up top, like, my mind's like, do not put force hard on that front ankle. And so for me, it's better to keep more weight on that ankle, and then I get more weight. So if I get like, you know, 90% on my back foot, and that would only be with a driver or something, like at the top, or, you know, when it should be I might only get 70% up front. But if I start with weight up front and then I get to the top, then I end up, and I keep the weight up front, then I end up with 100% of my weight. And then I just push hard off that front leg, and it seems to work really well. So that's kind of what I was doing today, and I was even doing it with driver. And, you know, the thing is, and it's so weird because it's like, and, you know, like I know I was saying last night when I was at Palm Springs, I was doing the lift of my front foot off the ground. It's just like what you can do, though, you know. I mean, I remember this story, you know, I remember I played a round of golf, and on the first hole, you know, I got done caddying, and I was like exhausted, and then I drove like 40 minutes to play golf, and I get out of the car, don't get to hit balls. First swing, something in my right hip goes pop, and I mean, it was bad. I mean, my right hip was screwed. So I couldn't put any weight on my right hip. But luckily, I'd done stack and tilt, and I literally started just like just doing stack and tilt, and I had to do it with my driver. Even when I did stack and tilt, I was probably kind of getting away from it with the driver. But this day, I had to keep my weight on my front, and I was killing the driver. And I think I shot like 77. I destroyed these two guys I was playing golf with, and I always joked that I beat them on one leg. But it was funny because you know, with the like when you can't put your weight on your back leg at all, I had my weight up front, and when I would take the club back and I get to the top, I'd be like, man, there's all this pressure on my front leg, and then all I could do on the downswing was push off that front leg, and that's where all the power comes from. And when that pressure's there, you know, I don't know if you guys know this, but so like a Tour Pro, you know, when they put them on the force plate, right about just before impact and pretty much through impact, the weight is twice their body weight. So if they're 220 pounds, it's 440 pounds of force. It's vertical force or pushing down to leap spring up. So to create that force, you have to first be pushing down to create the force to come up. So, you know, and that's the, you know, you know, I'm very smart when it comes to golf swing, and I can certainly look at my swing and be like, why don't I hit it to, you know, 270? And I can tell you why. Because number one, I'm left-handed swinging right-handed, and that's like that's my natural motion isn't from right to left. And number two, because of my bad ankle, like my vertical is 0. I can't jump 6 inches off the ground because I haven't done it that was 30 years ago that I broke my ankle. So I haven't jumped off the ground, and my vertical is absolutely 0. So the amount of force that I can push off with my front leg is very limited. And, you know, and one thing when I do get good pressure on my front leg and I hit a bucket of balls, my ankle's killing. Like, it's hurting, you know? So, you know, in your mind, you're kind of like, don't do that. Your mind's being like, don't, you know. So that's it. And that's 100% why I also, you know, I don't get really, I know why I don't hit it as far as I should, but that's the main thing. Like, I got no vertical. Like, it's all vertical force is what really gets the club going. But, you know, hey, man, when I broke that ankle, I didn't think I was ever playing golf again. A lot of people didn't think I was ever playing golf again. I had a doctor tell me, he's like, you're never going to walk a golf course again. Doctors. He goes, yeah. I told him I was a caddy. He goes, wow, you can just bag that. You're not going to caddy. And I've been doing it for 30 years since then. And my ankle's great. I mean, compared to how bad as it got broken, it got smashed. And, yeah, no kidding, Harry. But, you know, so, you know, the fact that I've walked, because doctors, they didn't have a clue back then, and they have probably less of a clue now. They have a better clue, but now we know that, you know, if you have it's better to walk and keep the arthritis away. You know, back then everyone was like, you know, don't move it, don't use it, you know, and that's stupid. So, but anyway, anyone got any questions out there? Anyone, any questions at all? Boy, too bad I didn't get to play this course, man. Look at all the water. It's wild. Like in Palm Springs, there's no water in Palm Springs. It's a desert, but they put a lot of water. Like on the golf courses, like the nice ones. It's all fake. Palm Springs, it's like the rest of California. It's all fake. It's fake. The grass is fake. So, you know, the rye grass is not a natural grass. It's all rye grass. So you can see the brown, right? That's Bermuda. And Bermuda would be, I guess, the natural grass, but it goes dormant in the winter, and they overseed everything with ryegrass. And it's really not very good. You know, it's not great grass. It's not good on greens. The rough is just kind of weak. Like, it's not very penal. It's the greenest grass on the planet. It's very green. But, yeah, everything's fake. Like the water, it's all fake. And the one course I was on, Toscano, which I didn't get to play because it's a very exclusive place. Guy just brought me out there. The rocks are fake. So it's really interesting. They go up in the mountains and they create casts of like plaster or plastic of the rocks. And then behind the greens, you see like the rocks, you know? And it's all like painted plastic. So it's fake. It's California for you. But it's beautiful. It's awesome. But yeah. It's funny, my friend he carries on tour, he carries for Sean O'Hare. And I told him I was going to Palm Springs, and he looks at me and goes, "It's all the same there." That's exactly what I was thinking. It is. It's kind of all the same. It's beautiful, but it's all the same. It's like all the around here where I am, like Eastern United States is the best. I would think. I mean, California, I guess if you go like Cypress Point and, on the ocean, they're spectacular. But, of course, around me, some have water, huge trees, all sorts of stuff. Everything. There's a lot of different golf courses. But, and the one I played when I came back, tell you what, man, it's a public course I never played before. And it's better than anything I saw in Palm Springs. Very like hills and crazy greens. Like good. The greens were like, that's what the reason I 3-putted so much was because they were aerated and they were just garbage. But these greens, if they were fast, you'd have to blow them all up because they were too hilly. Like they were be completely unfair. But as a course, it was pretty good. Very like a lot of undulations and kind of cool looking course. But anyway, so what's up? Anyone else got a question? Oh boy, tired. Thought I'd come on here, See, we got 5 people. Come on, someone, give me a question. I'll ask a question. What's the worst part of your golf game? How about that? I'm sure you got a worse part of your golf game, because we all do. What's the worst part of my golf game is definitely longish irons. And it's, anything longer than a 7-iron gets an issue with me. But that's the worst part of my game. And putting's never bad. I've had bad days putting, but I wouldn't say the worst part of my game. Yeah, it's interesting. Might be sometimes putting, but I don't really play a lot. So I used to be a pretty good putter. I was never a great putter because I just don't like putting that much. I see some people, they're just like obsessed with like putting, and it's like boring, But unless it's for money, then it's not boring. There's $5 on a putt, or if you make a putt, you're just gonna really piss someone off. It's great. Like that's like throwing darts at people is the best if you can just make those putts. But so anyway, it's winter. Anyone got tell me what you're working on your swing. How about that? Anyone? Harry, what are you working on? You said you were doing the L to L move. I'll tell you, today what I was doing was like, I was trying to get my weight up front and just like pushing backwards with my driver, and it was working great. Like literally pushing away from the target, almost like you're jumping backwards. You guys ever see Kyle Berkshire swing a golf club? It's insane. That guy jumps a foot off the ground. I don't know why. It's crazy. I would say, Harry, rather than worry about the ball position, worry about your body position. So look, for me, it's very difficult to change your ball position. It's annoying as hell. As long as it's, and the history of ball position is stupid. Like everyone plays it in different places. The ball position, right, as long as it's not too far back or way too far forward, But like, Nicklaus played it off his left heel. I don't know if it was Sam Snead or Hogan, like moved it for every club, which is kind of insane to me. But you have to understand. So so ball position, it all depends on where your swing center is, like the center of your chest, right? So if I take a wedge and I'm playing it off my left instep, which people would think is forward, as long as I set up with my chest over the ball, that club is going to hit the ground. Like, you just need to go forward to get the club to hit the ground where the ball is, right? So the worst solution in the world for hitting a shot fat is to move the ball back. It's stupid. It doesn't work. Then you just hit it too low and you're hitting more down on it. And then when you hit down, I have to do a video on this. It's really interesting. Ted Williams talked about it in baseball. Like, if the pitch is coming at an angle and you swing along that pitch, your hitting area is much bigger. So if you play the ball back and the club's going down, your hitting area is much smaller. So your chances of catching it, that's why if the club is moving shallow along the slope of the ground, you have a much better chance of hitting solid shots. So playing the ball too far back is stupid. You just move your body. So with driver, people who pop it up, they don't get, like Shark was doing today. He's popping up his driver. I had to explain to him, like, you got to set up with some tilt so your chest is behind it, and then you got to keep it back. So I'm telling you, man, messing with your ball positions, like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot easier to understand that the club's going to hit the ground. Basically, like, some people say it's your front armpit, but I think it's more the center of your chest. And it's all about swing centers. Like, you have two swing centers. You have your belt buckle, and then you have the center of your chest. And if your belt buckle's forward, this chest center goes back, and that would be like a driver. Fighting with rotation through. Yeah, Harry, wait till the incomplete follow through. I got you on that one. So I got a video coming out. It's a good one. It'll help you with that incomplete follow through for sure. It's amazing you say that, because that's amazing. That's literally, yeah. And I don't know if I want to discuss it now. It's a lot, but yeah, that's gonna be my next video. So your body's fighting. You got two sides to your body, and one side's fighting the other, and the right side's keeping your left side from following all this stuff. So that'll be the next video. Stay tuned. But yeah, that's 100% it, dude. It's amazing. So when you have these two sides of your body, they're like literally fighting each other. Like, I'll explain it real briefly. Your right side wants to turn back and get you in a good backswing position. And your left side, I'm doing this video because one of my video swing analysis I did for this guy, and you look at it and you're like, he's not turning at all, and you can just see that, and I told him, I said, look, if you just take your right side and turn, that's why the drill where you take your right side and you turn it back and then just reach around and grab the club, you have a perfect, big backswing. Like, this guy wasn't turning at all, because your two sides are fighting each other, and I learned a long time ago, your right shoulder, so for right-handed golfers, your trail shoulder, if you're a lefty, your trail shoulder really wants to turn back behind you, and the left shoulder, if your left shoulder has any tension, or it just will stop that from happening. So the best way to think about it is, and that's what this video is kind of about, turn the right side back and let the left side follow, And then the downswing, your right side's way better for the downswing. Your left side wants to pull the club over, and the right side, it's just like tossing a club underhand. It wants to work under, right? So there, you're boom, and then, and even Rory said, like, my downswing's all right side. The right side is, your trail side, is very good at backswing and downswing, but then when it comes to impact, that same right side will completely keep you from rotating through. If you're like, you have to let the left side go, like, just rip it up and pull it up around you, and that's why it's good to swing with your left arm, swing your right arm. But you'll see the video. It's just definitely, your body's like creating a war with these two opposing sides, So, that's why if you ever look at, I think Vijay Singh, and Freddie Couples, sometimes, like, their right hand comes off the club, because their left side's taking over and it's ripping, and then the left shoulder's got to go around. It's got to go behind you, And if you're right shoulder, and like if you're trying to push your right arm through, that ain't gonna work. You're pushing your right arm through, your left shoulder is gonna stop. Your left shoulder has to pull all the way around, has to rip back around behind you. That's it. Okay, that's my next video, believe it or not. It's already, I recorded it in Palm Springs. I just have to edit it and post it. And it's huge. All this stuff is huge. You know, it's unbelievable. Like, I watch these videos on YouTube and it's the same old crap. Like, some of it's good. But, like, stuff I come up with, I don't see people, like, saying that stuff. Like, it's, you know, they just, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, like, I like, today, like, I look at Shark and it's like, this kid's an athlete, right? He played basketball, he played tennis. And I tell him, I say, take your right arm. I just wanted to see. I say, take your right arm, and I want to see your throwing motion like you're throwing it out on the field. And it was the most unathletic looking thing I ever saw. Like, he's got the arm way up high. I'm like, dude, you wouldn't throw it like that. No one would do that. Like, and it was like, just like, but the thing is, because he wasn't swinging the weight. Like, he wasn't whipping it back. Like, if you're tossing it out in the field, you're going to use the weight of the club. It's like, it was so bizarre to me that people can't comprehend that fact that you're swinging this weight. It's like the weight, like they're just like holding this thing like a club, like a war club, not a golf club. So, you know, it kind of always comes back to this whole feel force thing, you know, like, if you don't understand that you're swinging a damn weight, like, I don't know what to tell you, you know. And if you think that you're going to use your hands to make that club head consistently hit the ball, you got no shot whatsoever. Okay. So, you know, I think with the guy, Rory's guy, Cohen, was it Pete Cohen? The guy who taught Rory for a long time, he says it best. He goes, the forces of nature want to drop. I get some noise coming out of my speaker. The forces of nature want to drop the club into the ball every time. And when you fight those forces, you're fighting nature, you know. So, but that guy, he's good. He said some things that kind of, I don't know about. He like the squeezing the towel, you know, Rory like squeezing the towel from. I don't know. I've never seen that really work for anyone. I've never. I don't even think Rory still does it, honestly. Where you're like squeezing squeezing it. Everyone's got their thing, you know. And, you know, but honestly, I think it's all about just swinging a damn club, you know. And trying to get people to do that, it's very difficult. But Shark's getting a lot better. He needs to go back to that, and then he hits it good. I told him, he was in his driver like crap. I'm like, swing it back as hard as you can and swing it through as hard as you can. And he just freaking started destroying it. And then I think he just started thinking and just started hitting some bad ones. But, you know, but what's unbelievable is, like, I told him, I said, you know, like I said, you hit it really far. Just for now, just hit a fade. He's not a draw biased swinger at this point. And I'm like, I said, swing left and hit a fade. And sometimes he hooks it and it goes left to left. And I'm like, dude, and I'm not, I know it happens, but you're clueless, right? Because you shouldn't be like hitting at it with his hands or rolling his hands over, you know? If you're swinging left and you're open, that club shouldn't be doing that. You're trying to, it's like a last ditch attempt to get this club to hit the ball that's making that happen. You're just not trusting the club. You know, it's not, that's all it is. You have to be seriously fighting the weight of the club head to hit a hook when he's open. He's open, he's going to be, and his arms are, you know, kind of trailing, everything's good, and then he just still kind of gets that thing to roll over because he's like taking his hands and smacking at it. But Anyway, 5 people watching, and if I don't get some questions soon, I'm taking out for early. But I thought I'd come on. I'm gonna start coming on almost every night. See how many people I can get on here. But and also because trying to help. But so I know. Harry, you're totally right. I mean, it's unbelievable. He told me he goes, um, he was trying to do more of a backhand with his lead arm, and maybe his forehand isn't that good because with the right arm he looks he doesn't look very athletic with the lead arm. Yeah, I don't know. The trail arm. It's kind of like I love the analogy of like whipping a frisbee because I used to throw a frisbee that way. Like I used to throw a frisbee, but I was left-handed, and I think I talked about that in my maybe like my chipping video, or I no, I think it was in the video that I haven't posted yet. I talk about that how I used to throw a frisbee, and the right arm goes like external, and you just whip this frisbee. But I was left-handed, but I couldn't throw it like that's why another reason I don't hit it as far because if I had to throw a frisbee right-handed, I couldn't throw it very far at all. But left-handed, I could wing it, and to me, that's exactly right. And I know Mo Norman always called the golf swing a flinging motion. It's a fling, and that's what it is. It's a fling. You're flinging this club. So, um, everyone grab your frisbees. Seriously. I don't know. I don't know. You know, I think that the ability to get good golf, I swear to God, 100%. The way you get good at golf is when you start making analogies with things that you can do, right? So, like I watched this guy. Um, so Milo Lines is a guy I love. He's one of my all-time best instructors on YouTube. Got no personality, but other than that, he's like, he's cool. But he was a baseball player. He was a college baseball player, I guess college baseball. And he goes, I just put my baseball swing on a golf ball, and he goes, the only difference was, the bat's round, and it didn't matter what part of the bat I hit it on. So in golf, I just had to learn to square up the club face, and he squares the club face by bowing his wrist, and that's all. And the guy, I think he was like became a scratch golfer in like 3 years, and he's like the longest. I hear he's like the longest driver of all the YouTube guys. Like he's like they I guess they all get together, but like he can swing it like 130 miles an hour. But and his swing's very a little bit strange, but it's great. It's awesome. But I like Milo Lines a lot. But he was able to make analogies from baseball to golf. And there was another guy, and he was a very they said he was an awesome player. Same thing. He said it's just like I'm hitting like a low inside pitch. He called it. I'm swinging a low inside pitch. And with me, I think about like kind of flinging like I think of the arm as like flinging a frisbee, and oh, sorry, dude. You know what? I gotta turn that off. I turn that on. I'll turn that off next time. I'm sorry. Yeah. I kind of popped up where I could do yeah, I'll turn that off. There shouldn't be commercials. So next time won't be commercials. I know it is annoying. So won't be commercials next time. But sorry about that, Harry. It popped up. It's like, do you want to let commercials play? And it was like, I don't know. So I shouldn't hit that. I won't do that again. But because yeah, it is annoying. But anyway, so like I was saying, you can make analogies. And then there was this one kid on Instagram, and I loved it. Like, yeah, but that don't pay. Yeah, I don't need that. It's not. I can monetize it afterwards. Like when I get done, and I can monetize it afterwards. And I don't think I make money off live streams. I mean, I think if I could get people to sit down and watch for an hour, that's a lot of ads they could run. So after it's recorded, I do get some views on my live streams after they're recorded. Like, it's unbelievable. I can't believe people are like going back and watching them. I mean, I guess I should believe it. I'm very entertaining. That's but that would be like great. Like if people would like literally sit down and watch, me talk for an hour, Like, but I mean, some of you actually do. So I guess it's not like all at crazy, But let me tell you something, dude. I watch when I get done the live streams, I clip it up with this software and it puts in the clips, and I watch it and I'm like, this is good stuff. Like, it's good, And I put it on Instagram and I clip it, and people love it. Like, people like, because, dude, golf instruction is just like, I mean, it's like, it's almost like, I almost feel like I started doing my golf instruction, and it seems to me like everyone said, well, if this guy can do it, I can do it. Now I mean, it's like, all I can say is thank God I got monetized as quickly as I would, because I'd have given up. 100% I'd give up. Because, like, I got 1,000 subscribers in my first 3 weeks, and I've gotten, well, I'm up to 2,500. So, yeah, so I got 1,000 subscribers, and I got 1,500 since then. But, yeah, thank God I got monetized, because I'd be like, like, and I'm trying to do something different, because it's all the same. It's like all the same crap, So if you guys can help me out, tell me, like, what's really interesting to you? Like, seriously, help me out. Like, what you want to hear? Like, some people love the caddy stories, but they're like even when I do my lesson things, like, I'm trying to keep it like a little loose. Golf is it's so blandly kind of just, Do you ever watch the, who are these guys? The two English guys who dress up what's the name of their channel? And they dress up the same, like twins. And they're English chaps. And I'm just like, you guys, oh my God, I couldn't watch them. I can't watch them at all. What the hell's their channel? I don't want to plug them, and I know they got a ton of followers. And they're just brutal. And brutal. How do you sit and watch that? These guys are just, they got personality like dough, But, they say if you want to be a golf instructor, be someone that people want to hang out with for a while. Like, like, be someone like these people are just like, they're just very, I mean, I guess they're English, so I don't know. But, anyway, I'm thinking about getting my certification. It's like PGAAT certification, and it costs like $1,000. And I don't know, like, I'm gonna get this, and it's like, because I want to give lessons. Like, I want to start giving more lessons at my range. I give some, but I want to start, what I really want to do is, the dude there is so bad who gives lessons, I want to just, like, smoke him and just, like, completely take all his business. And I know I would. It'd be like a bloodbath. I would just take because, like, I see, I give lessons and I see people looking, and I don't really advertise, and I don't do any of that. Like, I don't have any cards put out there. So I want to do that. I want to get the certification, but I know it's going to be like, I'm going to get, it's like you got to read some book, and I'm going to look at this book and be like I've seen, I know all this stuff, And the only thing I think I can learn is, like, I think it helps you, like, maybe, the problem is with personal lessons is if you give someone more than one thing, like, most people lose their mind. Okay, they just lose their mind. They're incapable of, like, filtering out what's important at the time, and maybe keeping something in the back of their mind. And it's like the day I look at someone's swing and see one thing that's going to make it a whole lot better is, like, I'd be looking at, like, Rory McIlroy. I don't know. I'd be looking at damn Tour Pro. Like, even then, like, you look at him like, that's kind of weird about this swing. But it's like, you know, you look at most people's swings and you're just like, you look at bad golfers, and if you don't see 5 things that are just like really bad, like, then you're not really looking. But, you know, like I look at Shark and it's like, I don't know, I mean, like, where do you start, you know? And it's like, I know, but the thing is, like, you know, when you give a person a lesson, it's like you almost feel like you're robbing them if you just work on one thing. But then if you give more than one thing, some people are, uh, they're kind of emotionally unfit. You know, it's like they really are. Like you give them more than one thing, and they start losing their mind. It's like, you know, when you go into a college class, like if you ever go into college, you know, and I took some college. You go in that first class, and that guy starts talking, and you're like, holy cow, like what? But you got to just like settle down and be like, okay, take some notes, you know, and it'll all make sense eventually. You know what I mean? But people are just like, you know, it's like, it's incredible. Well, I'm thinking of 3 different things. Why don't they? Like, I just told you, I said, you know, you got to kind of filter it out and just like, but, you know, for me to just sit there and be like, this one thing, because like, you tell them one thing, and I don't know, they expect like that's going to make them good. And it's like, it's not. It's just like a building block to where you have to go, you know? And what golf teachers do is they find a band-aid and they give the person a band-aid because all they're worried about is that person hitting a couple good shots, and it's all a lie. It's just a lie. Like, it's like, you know, if someone comes in there, like, say, slicing it, and I say, strengthen your grip, and all of a sudden they start hitting it straight or drawing it, like, they haven't really learned anything. Next thing you know, they're going to start hitting slices with a strong grip, or they're going to start, like, they haven't learned anything. You know, you just gave them a Band-Aid. You know, and then they're like, oh, I got it. And then a week later, that on the golf course, be like, oh my God. You know, and then they're like, they have no clue what to do, what's going on. And then they stop going to lessons completely. Because most people I talk to are like, oh, lessons don't work. And I'm like, well, that's why. So, but it's hard. It's like you got to learn the golf swing to some degree. You got to frickin' learn it, you know? And if you're just going to be a mental midget and just be like, oh my God, you know, like when someone get like, then you forget it. It's like, I compare it to guitar all the time. It's just like guitar. So in guitar, you pick up a guitar and you're like, oh, I'm going to buy a guitar. I'm going to play guitar. And then someone says, well, you got to learn all these strings. You got to learn the letters. You got to learn the notes. You got to learn the chords. You got to learn some scales. And people are like, I can't do that. And they put the guitar in the closet, right? But in golf, it's exactly the same. But people hit like one good shot and they think, oh, I got it. I just have to repeat that. And the ball went and I got it, you know? And then it's like, it would be like if you picked up a guitar and for 3 minutes you played Stairway to Heaven, like the lead to Stairway to Heaven perfect, and be like, I got it. And it doesn't work that way. And the thing is about guitar is people, they stink and they put the guitar in the closet and never play it again. But in golf, you hit that good shot once in a while and you're like, I got it. And then you just keep playing. And then 15 years later, you still stink because you never bothered to learn anything, you know? You just like prayed for that good shot to appear like it does once in a blue moon. And that's all it is. That's all it is. You got to learn something. You got to have some knowledge. You know, this guy, his name's Jeff. I talked to him. He is, you know, he's always been, you know, he's a club champion, won 3 club championships, great. He knows the damn golf swing. And if he hits it bad, he goes down the range and he has multiple ways to figure it out, you know, and he's not a mental midget. He's not. Like, I remember once it was, we had this big, huge, I mean, it was like, it's the biggest tournament they have. It's like you join up, you have match play with your partners, and you play matches, and at the end, the winner takes all, you know. It's like a cup tournament, a match play. And he was hitting it like crap, and he was pulling the crap out of the ball, pulling everything. And I filmed his swing on the par 3, and I'm like, dude, look, you're like close to the top, you know, and I can't remember exactly, but anyway, I did like a video swing analysis. And I told him like 3 different things. I'm like, like all these things are contributing to you pulling this ball. So 2 weeks later, maybe like a week and a half later, it came time for the final match. And I got on the first tee. This was the final match. I got on the first tee, and I'm just like, oh my God, what did I do? You know what I mean? Like if he plays like crap, and he was playing like crap anyway, like he was playing terrible. I'm like, if he plays like crap, like I'm gonna, and he lit it up. He lit it up, man. He played so good, and he finished it up with a freaking he's like 60, probably like 65 years old, and he had finished up. He hit a 175-yard 7-iron and just striped it for birdie on this par 3. And he looked at me, he goes, that's the best 7-iron I've ever hit. And he told me, he said, thanks, you helped me out, So you're not a mental midget. Golf is not a game for the weak. It is not a game for the weak. Like, you cannot be a weak person and play golf. It's just like life. If you're weak in life, you will not succeed. And if you're weak in golf, you won't succeed. That's all there is to it. And if you're going to take shortcuts in life, you're not going to succeed. And if you're going to take shortcuts in golf, you're not going to succeed. Just like that. Mo Norman said it best. Golf is like life, So, and I know this one kid. I mean, you start helping him with his golf swing, he starts crying like a girl. Like, it's crazy. Oh my God, but I didn't. It's like, dude, go away. Like, get away from me. Like, I don't have any desire to help you at all. Okay? You're not emotional. It's crazy. And I mentioned last night, like, this guy that I used to give lessons to, so emotional. Like, oh my God, wait. Like, oh, I'm playing next week. Oh, if I play bad, oh, it's like, dude, like, you can't be that way. You know what I mean? You gotta go out there and just like give it your best. And if it doesn't go well, then you just, you learn, you grow, you keep going, But if you go out there like with this emotional, like, you're not gonna play good. It's not a game for weak people. So, I use PUSSY. It ain't a game for that. That's why women are brutal on a golf course, because they're emotionally like, the women who don't care are usually pretty good. Like, they really are. They kind of, it's like, swing at it, hit it. They kind of do okay. But when women start to take golf seriously, and I don't want to sound misogynistic, I'm just saying from experience, if they get too serious and there's like pressure on them, they can't do it. They're brutal. I mean, I had this. I remember I had I caddied for women. And the one lady, she was an athlete. She was an athlete. She played basketball in college. She's an awesome golfer. Really, I mean, not awesome, but she's a solid single digit. She can shoot in the 70s. And for women, that's good. Okay? Good with me. To me, that's a good golfer. I had a friend, he's like, oh, she stinks. I'm like, dude, she shoots in the 70s. Like, you can't say that. That's stupid. But, mentally, she's tough. And her husband is tough. He was a college football player, really good college player. And this guy is tough, man. He's tough as nails. He don't falter to anyone. And his wife is tough too, and she's very good. And she played, and her partner was this woman who had just a meltdown. I mean, it was a meltdown. And I'm like, and I wanted to win this tournament because the one lady's a good player, and we came in second the year before. And this lady just had. It was a mental meltdown. And it was like, not only was she was so distracting to the other lady who was so good, she could have won the damn tournament by herself. She's that good. She didn't even need a partner. But when your partner is having a meltdown, it's just like, you're not, I'm like, and I felt like telling her, like, you're hurting your partner. Like, your partner can't play. And she's like, and she's playing match play, right? So it's match play, but if you're out of the hole, you're out of the hole. And so the good player might be sitting there with a birdie putt to win the hole, and this lady's like playing out a 6 or a 7 and crying the whole time. And I'm just like you're freezing the kicker. Like, pick your ball. Get a brain. Like, come on. And it's just like, but that's why, and if you look at like female pro golfers, women, and like I said, I don't want to sound misogynistic because that's bad. But I'm just saying from experience, okay, they get highly emotional when things get serious on a golf course. And if you look at really good like pro players, these women are cold as ice, and it's awesome to watch. It's really cool to watch. It's like, man, look at this chick. She's just like, she's tough, you know. But I remember when I the day I caddied for Carlotta Saganda, Saganda, Carlotta Saganda, I came in that day and I walked into the lot, and there's this chick, and she's walking around the parking lot. She's going like this, and she's like jumping and pounding, and she was like, I was like, what's going on? And that was her, and she was getting pumped up to play like a practice round, for Christ's sake. But that's like that, you know. So, but like I said, I don't want to disparage women too much, but it's just not. It doesn't bode well to be like highly emotional on a golf course. But I remember caddy for this one of the greatest stories ever. It's great. I caddy for this woman, and one of the greatest lines I ever heard on a golf course. I'm caddying for this chick, and she's a scratch golfer, and we have a hole that's for the women. It's a par 5, and there's water like short left of the green, and all the women lay up short of the water. Like, and even if they have a chance of hitting the green, they just lay up because they don't want to go near the water. And I got this lady, and I go, just out of instinct, like out of habit, I laser the water, and I go, it's 150 to the water, and she looks at me, and she goes, I don't care about the water. I'm not hitting it at the water. And she knocks it on the green. I'm like, damn, that was awesome. It was great. She was this badass, you know. But seriously, man, I was guilty of it too for a long time. You know, just being like playing golf, like, you know, scared or whatever, you know. I mean, sometimes it's like your game's really bad and you're just like, it's a little disparaging. Like, Jesus God, you can't get emotional. You know what I mean? No one wants like, if you were going into a damn meeting and you start freaking out and getting emotional, they'd be like, dude, like, we'll get someone else. Like, you're fired. You're out of here. Bye. You know? So it's the same thing. But that's my spiel. But because I want to talk, you know, mentality in golf is super important. And people who are just like mental badasses are really good on a golf course. And like this, like, so for instance, this I can't tell you how many times I hear on a golf course, I was scared to do this, scared to do that, I was nervous about this. And these are people who like they're worth millions of dollars, and they've done the most scariest things in life, and they're so scared of like hitting a golf ball or chipping a golf ball over a bunker, you know. And it's like, I mean, and the thing is, you know, the thing is about fear is everyone gets scared. You just don't want to let it affect you, right? Because that's what courage is. Courage is not never being scared. Courage is not letting that emotion affect how you do things, you know. So everyone gets nervous, but it's what is that, you know, how does that affect you? So, you know, and this woman who's a real good player, her husband he's a badass, man. He plays golf. Like, if you ever looked at him and ever saw fear in his eyes, there'd be a mountain lion about to jump on him. That's about it. Because this dude plays golf like, and he's good, man. He's like, he played college football, and this dude, like, he can go out and shoot. I mean, I think he shot a few years ago. He shot like a 68, and he's like, if you look at his swing, you'd be like, no effing way. There's no way this guy is gonna shoot a 68, but he does, and because he's 100% fearless. You know, like, he likes to. I joke about him. He's an over clubber. You know, he likes to take a lot of club because he's not afraid of hitting over a green because he's gonna get it up and down. He's gonna get back there and he's gonna do his best, get it up and down. You know, so. People who play in fear, it's, you know, it's ugly. But, yeah. I mean, because, you know, it's funny. You talk about golf and all, I mean, mentality is everything. I know this guy, this one guy I caddy for, and there was a day, it was, actually it was two of them. Two guys, and it was GAT matches. And these two guys, it was pouring rain, and it was brutal. Like, why are we even out there? But GAT matches, you gotta go in the rain. And the one guy is like, he's like a mental, like he's like a mental freaking ninja sword. He'll just cut through you. He don't even care. He is so like, go positive. He's like, I'm gonna destroy you, and he does. Most of the time, he destroys people. And we got on the tee, and I was like, well, I ain't got to worry about this guy. And then I said to the other guy, we were on the one hole, and I go, I said, because it was a real crappy day, I said, it's not what you can do when the weather's nice, it's what you can do when the weather really sucks. And he goes, yeah, that's right. And they killed these guys. It was like, and the other two guys were like, they were out of it mentally, like, because it was raining. Yeah, here's another thing I want to mention. So here's another thing. Very interesting. So I've noticed that the hardest thing in golf is to finish around. You know what I mean? Like, when people, that's why if you ever play someone, say you're playing a match and a dude's a 10 handicap and he shoots 37 on the front and he's like up on you, just double down. Because you know that he's just going to start, he's just going to start blowing it on the back. But really good players, and I think it was Mo Norman said it. He said the same thing. He goes, good players don't back off. They make more birdies. They keep going. It's wild, and that's mentality. And I've seen so many people just completely, most people blow around the golf in the end, It's like insecurities, and I mean, we all do. I've done it, I guess. I don't think I'm as bad as a lot of stuff I've seen. I've seen people just completely like, oh my God, I had a match against some kid, and some of it comes from experience and getting older, where you just don't give a crap as much. Like, I've had some great rounds of golf, and I don't really care. It's not like, to me, a great round of golf is just a bar story in 3 weeks. It's just you tell people, oh yeah, I did this, and then they're like, we don't care. Like, what are you gonna do today? But I had a match with this kid, and he kind of lit me up on the front. He was might have been 4 up at the turn. And so I go, I'll let you buy out for 50%. He goes, yeah, right. He goes, you want to press? And I go, absolutely, because I knew, I could tell he was all excited because he had this really good round of golf going, and I knew he was gonna just blow it. And sure enough, yeah, he was 4 up at the turn. And I said that, I go, yeah, I'll let you buy out for 50%, for half. And then he goes, you want to press? And I go, absolutely. So I won the press in 5 holes, and I won the actual match on 16 green. And it was over. I knew he was going to blow up, because that's what people do. And it was funny. I think I was like, 1 over for the next 6 holes. And I made a birdie on 14. I won the precedent. I win the match on 16, and I go up on 17, and I never do this. I just plunked it in the water off the tee. And he's like, oh, great. And I'm like, yeah, that's what it's like. That's what it's like when you're like old and experienced. You're like, who cares, dude? I beat you. So I hit it in the water. I don't care. Like, I'm not like out here to like, prove anything except just to beat you. And I did. But it was fun. It was an awesome, fun day. But that's just what you see. I'm telling you, man, if you got a match against someone and they're like, they play the best front 9 of their life, just freaking double down, because they're just going to blow it. So that's definitely a thing. But yeah, finishing around the golf is very hard. For me, it's also because you just get tired. And I think that's what happened that day. Like, when I was done the match after 16, I walked the next day, I was exhausted. It was kind of a hot day. I was like, you just get exhausted, Once the excitement's gone, you're just exhausted. But when you get older, man, it's hard. I used to play 18 holes of golf and just blow through it. And then it's like, and your focus is good, the whole time. And when you get older, it's like, it's so much harder just to stay focused. It's crazy. I came for Laura Davies in the ladies PGA, and you watch her on the range, like, this lady's as good as any of these girls. Like, but she was 56 years old. And you watch her hit balls. She doesn't ever miss it. She almost looked better than most of them. She hits it farther. She was way longer than most of those girls out there. But then she gets out on the course and she just can't really get it done. And she's she has 78 tour wins or something, and a bunch of majors. But, she's on the range and you're like, she's going to shoot 65 today. She shoots 75. And it's just like age. And I don't totally understand it, but it's just the way it is. I mean, look, even something like a race car, like driving a race car, when you get older, you can't do it. It's not all that physical. I mean, it might be. I don't know. I never really drive, but no matter what it is, like age is just, it's tough, So, but yeah. So that's that. So this was a whole like mentality show, which is good, because I mean, I'll tell you right now, I started listening to these motivational like audio things, where actually they're like YouTube motivation things, and it's like all these great athletes. And when you hear how these great athletes think, it's like unbelievable. It's no wonder they're good. Like you listen to Kobe Bryant. I mean, the one where they were up like 3-0 in the series, and they're like, "Oh, Kobe, you feeling pretty good?" And he's like, "Why am I feeling good? It ain't over yet." And it's like, or like when Kobe was up like all night long with his, I don't know, his wife had a kid or something, and he just get to gym an hour early, and it's just like, but it's like the greatest thing. So one of the things the guy said, when he goes, you can't control your body. You can't really guarantee that your body's going to work that day, but you can always control your mind, And he goes, if you start getting negative or something like that, he goes, it's like a radio. You just change the station. And he's right, and that's what I do. Like if I start getting negative, I'm like, I'm just going to completely, you can control your mind. You can't control your body, especially when you're my age and you're 61. I mean, some days your body just don't work, but, and I go to the gym probably too much. I've been working out real hard in the gym, and some days I go to the gym and then I'm like out on the golf course and I'm like, oof, I'm like tired, after doing kettlebells all morning. But in the end, it's helping a lot. So, but yeah, I mean, mentality. It's like, and if you can listen to these, I had a round. I think I mentioned this before. I had a round where I was like, I shot like, because we don't get to play our course much, so there is some. You do kind of want to go out there and have a good round of golf. And I shot I made the turn like 1 over, and then I took a 7 on the 10th hole. And, 10 years before, I'd had a meltdown, and I just didn't care. I just kept going, and I played a pretty good round. I shot like 78 or whatever. I got through it, and I mean, any other day it would have been a meltdown, and I didn't really have a meltdown. And I remember I was on the last hole, and I hooked a drive, and I was like, I hit it like left, and I was like under these trees, and I was like, way 210 in, and and I could have, just like taken my bogey for a 79, and I'm just like, F that. And I hit a 3-wood out of the rough under this branch, and I had a putt for birdie. I ended up parring it, and I shot the 78. And it was like, that's like, that's the mentality of like just not being scared, and not having a meltdown because you make a 7. But anyway, and I know we talked about putting a lot last night, and that's all mentality. You know what I mean? I mean, people who are good putters, like, they're going to make that damn ball. If it ain't going in, it's going to hit the hole, because that's what they're trying to do. And then if you're standing over a putt thinking like bad putters are like, oh my God, if I hit it too hard, I'm not going to be able to I'm going to hit it. Like, bad putters are afraid to hit the ball. I deal with that. Oh God, I deal with it all the time. Like people, when you got to read a putt and you could hit it left edge with a little speed, and you got to read it 2 cups out because they're afraid to hit the thing, and they're going to hit it like really gradually. They're going to hit it really easy and play all the break. And, there was this one guy I used to caddy for, and he used to say to me, he goes, I go, well, you can play it left edge firm. And he goes, well, I like to hit it easy. And I'm like, oh, well, then you don't like to make putts, I guess. I don't know. And he was just like, he would hit it, and this thing would be like, it's like just dying at the hole, and like if there's like a net, walking across the hole, it's going to hit the ball and just knock it out of the hole. Like it's going so slow. And it's like crazy, you know. And I remember we had this Mason Dixon tournament, and these kids were freaking studs, dude. They were, man, were they good. They were all like the best amateur golfers from down south, you know. And you get these kids from down south, man, they're like insanely good. And they were hitting putts like downhill putts. They were banging them into the back. Now it was match play. It's a little different. They were banging them into the back of the hole, and I was like, "Holy cow!" Like they don't even. And they would they would lose the hole if that didn't go in. Like they would go from, you know, taking a hand. They were winning holes by banging it into the back of the hole. And like if they miss it, they might not even. They might lose the hole. And they're just like aggressive, just banging it in, you know. So, man, those kids were good. That was the worst day I was ever on a golf course. It was probably 50 degrees and pouring rain, and they were playing the back tees. And these kids, like, you have no idea how long this course is from the back tees. It's like probably at that point, 7,100 yard par 70. And these kids are making birdies from the back tees. And the two kids who beat up on my guys were walking around with golf shirts on and just like a hat and golf shirt. And they're just standing there and the rain is pouring. And I'm sitting there like I'm all bundled up. And the rain, you can see the rain pouring down the back of their neck. It was freezing. And this kid wasn't budging. Like, I'm like, dude, like, you guys are crazy. But I mean, it was amazing. They're walking around in golf shirts in 50 degrees and rain. Like I'm the type, if water's going down the back of my neck, I'm like, oh my. And these kids, you could see the rain pouring down, and they're just standing there making putts, making birdies, and that's crazy. That's like a total different level. But anyway, yeah, you can't believe how good some of these guys are. It's just absolutely incredible. I mean, for those kids, I mean, I must have watched in that pouring rain from the back tees. I must have watched between the two of them 8 birdies, maybe more. 8 birdies from the back tees. It's unbelievable. You know, we're talking about holes that are 450, 460. But oh, thanks, Eric. Yeah, it's pretty good, man. I'm good with a drone. I wish I'd have gotten more, you know. There's a lot of places out there, but they probably would all look kind of the same out there. I'm gonna start doing courses around here. So our course is having the PGA, and I want to wait till they have it kind of set up for the PGA tournament, and I'm gonna do a drone fly over that. I don't think I can get on the even though I work there, I don't know if I can get on the property. And I don't, you know, you can fly a drone. No one can stop you. It's Class G airspace. I can fly a drone over the course, but I don't know. You know, the PGA is probably a little funny about. I don't really care. I'm just gonna do a flyover, and then But then we also have Marion Golf Club, which is top 10 golf course in the country, and you know I'm gonna go do a flyover that. And we got some other really nice courses, and you can see like the kind of courses around here, because the courses around here are like really, you know, like they're awesome, you know. But yeah, look at this. Isn't that a beautiful? I mean, that image is just spectacular. And you guys are looking at it in it's 1080p, and the actual footage is 4K. So in 4K, it's pretty awesome. But look at the mountains. It's wild, man. I mean, one thing about Palm Springs is like, no matter how bad it is, like you look around, you're like, holy, this is just so beautiful. And even, you know, I was there after a while. The mountains kind of start to disappear from, you know, you kind of don't notice them as much. But sometimes, man, like it rained, and the sky, the clouds were, yeah, it was that was later in the day, more like dusk. But the clouds were down at the mountains, and you look up and you're like, dude, the mountains are the sky. Like the mountains are up in the clouds, and God, man, it makes you feel small, you know, when you see that. But you know, and I posted the one picture. There was it rained, and I went to this one range and they closed the range because one thing about there, when it rains, it floods. Like nothing drains. Like it's like rivers everywhere, you know. And I went to one course and they closed their range, and I went to this other course. And the other course has these watered drainage areas, and the guy comes up and he goes, yeah, I'm doing videos of the course, and he shows me the video, and there's rivers going through the golf course, like white water, like crazy rivers. And he goes, yeah, but he goes, the range is closed, but go ahead down. And he let me just go down and pick up balls. And I was all by myself. It stopped raining, and the freaking clouds were surrounding the mountains. I come down the mountains, and there was like, and I took a picture of it. I think I posted it. And there was a hole in the clouds, and the sun, like the God rays they're called, were coming through. It's like, this is wild, you know. And too bad I hit it like crap that night, but I was slipping because the grass was wet. It was like, well, it wasn't easy, but it was so beautiful, man. I was the only one down there, but yeah, it's quite a place, man. I'll tell you what. Anyway, so all right, well, I guess I'm gonna go to bed, but I'll be back, and you guys, I got comments from one guy, Harry, and there's supposedly there were 4 or 5 people watching, which is a little lame, but that's okay. But you know, ask me some questions, man. I got answers. But anyway, so see y'all later. Good talking to you, and got a good video coming up. The one I was telling Harry about. It's really good about how your body fights with it. Your sides fight with each other when you're trying to swing a golf club. So, all right, everyone. Good night, and I'll see you soon. Bye.